Hello, and welcome to OCU Now, where we discuss what OCU students care about. I'm Nicole Waltman.
And I'm Jamison Keefover. This semester on OCU Now, we will be focusing on career-driven women and how they got to where they are now.
Joining us today are the head staff members of Oklahoma Living magazine, Anna Politano, Haley Leatherwood, and Shannon Mccroskey. Thank you for joining us, ladies.
Thank you.
So go ahead and take a second to tell us a little bit about yourselves.
Hi, I'm Shannon Mccroskey, and I manage all of the marketing and advertising for Oklahoma Living, originally from southeastern Oklahoma.
I'm Anna Politano. I am the editor of Oklahoma Living, and I was born in Salvador, Bahia, Brazil. But I've been in Oklahoma for about 12 years now.
I'm Haley Leatherwood. I'm the multimedia specialist for the magazine, and I'm from Chandler, Oklahoma.
Awesome.
That's right.
Well, can you tell us a little bit about how you got your start in communications? Whoever wants to go first.
I've always had a passion for writing. So when I came to the United States to be an exchange student, one of my challenge was not only to learn the language, but also to learn how to write professionally. I was very blessed that in Lawton, Oklahoma, where I came to be an exchange student, there was a small school there, Cameron University, and I had so many great opportunities at Cameron to explore my passion for the communications field. I was able to be the editor-in-chief of our school paper, the Cameron Collegian, and I learned so much through that opportunity.
That's great.
Yeah.
And I completely agree with what Anna said. I've always loved writing and reading, and whenever I was deciding what I wanted to do for a career, I'll never forget, my mom gave me wonderful advice, and it's kind of become my mantra. She said, by bringing out the best in others, you bring out the best in yourself. And so that led me to a career in public relations. But while I was in school at Oklahoma State University, I found myself drawn more and more to the journalism room. So following that, I pursued my master's degree in journalism, and I've enjoyed a great career ever since.
Did you go to OSU for your master's?
I went to the University of Oklahoma for my master's.
Nice.
So the best of both.
Oh, yeah. Boomer Pokes? I don't know.
If you ask me my heart, go Pokes.
Yes.
Boomer.
What about you, Shannon?
Similar to Haley and Anna, I guess. Actually not similar. I didn't know that I wanted to do communications. I really didn't know what I wanted to do. So I started my collegiate journey at a junior college at Carl Albert State College in Pote, Oklahoma, and originally I wanted to be a lawyer. And so I did like a political science degree, but through my academic journey there, I had a lot of opportunities to participate in different leadership roles and whatnot, and was really afforded different opportunities that I probably wouldn't have been had I gone like straight to the university. But over time, I kind of decided that I grew up on a small farm, and agriculture was really a big thing to me. So I started looking into the different colleges, didn't know if I wanted to go to OU or OSU, but I learned about the agricultural communications program at Oklahoma State. It was one of the best in the nation, and it really appealed to me because I was kind of at that phase in my life where I didn't know exactly what path that I wanted to take. Right. And the cool thing about the agricultural communications degree is you can do so many different things. They train you in public relations and journalism, graphic design, photography, sales, marketing. So I had a unique opportunity to kind of dip my feet in all these different things and then kind of figure out what exactly I wanted to do, which ultimately led me to a career in marketing and sales. So.
Nice. So tell us a little bit about, like, you said that you had your feet dipped into all these different areas, and did you guys have that same chance at your schools with communications?
Some. I had some opportunities in photography. At the time that I went to school, we didn't have social media, and even websites, they were not a big thing. So we focused a lot on writing and producing a print publication. Also in the public relations area, but it has been amazing to watch how technology has evolved and how the media industry has changed from the time that I went to school. I graduated 12 years ago, so in 12 years, a lot of change has happened to our industry.
Yeah, and you're doing your master's right now.
I'm doing my master's through the University of Missouri School of Journalism, and I'm pursuing media management on that master's.
So how did you guys choose what you wanted? So you were drawn that way, and you were drawn to marketing. What clicked there for you guys?
I think what drew me from public relations into journalism is that people are trusting you with their story, and you get to take the time to get to know them and bring the best out in them and show the world what people can do. And I think it's so wonderful that Oklahoma Living mostly serves rural and suburban areas. So for me, being from a small town, it's getting to give back to the people that I grew up with. So it's been very nice.
I love that.
For me, I think the sales and marketing track really stood out to me because I love getting to know people and kind of learning their stories is just kind of a part of communications. But my job, the way I relate it back, is I meet with all kinds of small business owners throughout the state. And in my ag sales and marketing classes, we had those opportunities where we had to do ride-alongs with salespeople. We had to do like real-life job shadowing type things. And so I got to see one-on-one what it's like to go out in the field and meet with these different people, build these relationships, learn about them, and know like how your product, how your good service could actually help them, and real-life type things. And so that's definitely what I get to do every single day. And just I know people from all over the place, and just kind of getting to know about them, learn about their business, and ultimately help them through the audience of Oklahoma Living magazine.
Love it.
So looking back on how you got to where you are, is there anything you would change about that journey? Anyone?
Oh, man.
If I was going back today with the understanding that I have today, I probably would have double majored.
Really?
I majored in journalism and I had a minor in English and Spanish. But going back today, I probably would major in public relations and journalism. What I didn't foresee was that I would actually pursue a career in public relations. And working for the electric cooperatives has been a tremendous learning experience where I got to apply my journalism skills into a public relations angle. And I would say it's very important that you believe on the mission behind of the company that you work for. And we are honored to work for electric cooperatives because they are not-for-profit organizations. They are very invested on their local communities. Right. They are not out there for a profit, and they genuinely care. And today on the public relations area, it's very important that you not only love what you do, but that you stand behind the purpose of your organization as well.
Absolutely.
And I think to that, I would have also added a little bit more study in technology. Whenever I was at the cusp of graduating, website design and all of that was just becoming popular. So I taught myself scripting languages. So I just checked out books, I read, I learned by trial and error. But going back, that'd be something that I would see would be crucial to add to almost any career track.
Yeah, that's something we definitely have to learn here now.
Right,
For
yeah.
sure.
It's a huge aspect of what we do, yeah.
Yeah.
I think with mine, I did an internship with a newspaper, and I think if I could change anything, I would definitely do more internships in probably several different fields, and not just, I guess, necessarily limit yourself to one thing because there's so many different opportunities. You don't know what you might like or what might not be for you. So I would definitely participate more and try to do the real job experience and really kind of get your feet wet to know exactly what you might want to do more.
Absolutely.
Real quick, this is kind of a taboo subject to talk about, but I think it's important for students to know how you guys kind of decided where you were going to go, and through financial aid aspect, how that went for you, especially going into your master's and then especially undergrad, because when you're 18 you might not know all of your options.
Okay. For my undergrad at Cameron University, my parents back in Brazil worked very, very hard for that tuition to be paid for. That's something that I'll forever be thankful for their hard work. They went without a lot so that I could get my education here. For my master's degree, I'm very thankful that I have some tuition assistance from our employer, the Oklahoma Association of Electric Cooperatives.
That's awesome.
I actually knew that I wanted to go to college since grade school, so that was something I'd been working on, and I ended up becoming valedictorian of my high school. And at the time, Oklahoma State University had a great program where they were recruiting valedictorians. So I was able to utilize a lot of scholarships that would cover tuition and fees, and my parents were self-employed. So they sacrificed so much, like Anna's parents, over the years to put away for my college education. So whenever I went to my master's degree, I was able to use those funds to get that paid for. So I will be forever grateful that I was able to graduate college debt-free. They gave me my best chance at a good start.
Yeah. Wow. That's amazing.
For me, I had a single mom back home, and I was a first-generation college student, and so at 17, I didn't necessarily know that I was going to go to college, didn't really know what I wanted to do with my life, but I was fortunate enough to receive a full-ride academic scholarship to my junior college, and through that experience, I worked, pretty much have had a job since I was 16, and so a little bit of that, saving money aside, but of course it's not enough to pay for, a D1 university, so I had a big kind of like dilemma on my hands of how am I going to pay for all this money. My mom has always done a manual labor job. She's been very successful with her business, but it's been one of those if she doesn't work, she doesn't get paid type things. And so kind of been a challenging that we never needed for anything, we didn't want for a lot kind of thing, but there was just never just ample money sitting aside. So I kind of had this decision of, do I want to go to Oklahoma State University? Yes. Then what am I going to have to do to make that happen? So I ended up getting a job, and I worked about 30 plus hours a week throughout my college education, and saved a lot of money. And my mom's always advice has been, as long as you're working and doing everything within your power to help yourself, she'll do the exact same. So she, like Anna's mom and Haley's parents, sacrificed so much to really do everything within her power to help me throughout college. But at the end of the day, sometimes that wasn't necessarily enough, and so I did end up taking out student loans my last year of college. And I know it's kind of a taboo thing that people are always like, don't do it if you don't have to, and I'll again reiterate that, don't do it if you don't have to. But it's not the end of the world, because your education, it's an investment in yourself, and getting this degree will ultimately put you in a career and positions and opportunities where you can pay for that back in the future. And so I kind of just had to look at it as this is an investment in myself. It's going to pay off one day, and it definitely has. So.
Thank goodness for parents.
Yes.
Yes, absolutely.
Yes. Well, we are going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to learn more about Oklahoma Living.
And what it's like to be the head staff member. Stay tuned into OCU Now.
Oklahoma isn't your room. So don't trash it.
Gender studies and media constantly refer to the glass ceiling that women are up against. The Women's Media Center found that 71% of all front page stories are written by men, and women only represent 35% of newsroom leaders. Out of the top 25 international newspapers, only one is ran by a woman. These numbers drastically vary from broadcasting to radio to even government and financial positions. There are several reasons for the gap in representation. One, being stereotypes like women are weak or women can't handle the pressure still exist. But employers have other reasons as well. The law firm of Slater & Gordon surveyed 500 hiring managers, and 40% admitted they were weary of hiring women in senior-level positions because of the chance of maternity leave. And 44% of those surveyed said that financial cost of maternity leave is a significant burden on the company. A 2010 report from 2 research groups also showed that women detour at a much higher percentage than men because of 2 reasons: childcare and elder care costs. But research has also found that men and women alike use the reason of, I want to spend more time with my family, to leave a job. There is no doubt there are still drastic differences in representation in media, but new research is showing that 55% of Australian journalists are women, a significant difference from 20 years ago, when they only represented 1/3. There is still an issue to solve, but most importantly, we have to remember that gender disparity in journalism can cause large issues on a social spectrum, because to be effective watchdogs, news organizations need a variety of voices and perspectives.
OCU is that open shot to a winning goal.
Countless rehearsals for one flawless routine.
Learning to serve before trying to lead.
Learning a language everyone can understand. OCU is
Me.
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 I'm OCU.
Welcome back to OCU Now. Thank you for staying with us.
Oklahoma Living is part of the Electric Cooperatives of Oklahoma and has been supplying information to Oklahoma since 1948, focusing on energy, agriculture, and rural living.
In 1992, Oklahoma Living changed their focus from agriculture to livability to keep up with their changing audience.
Today, Oklahoma Living is the largest publication in Oklahoma with a readership of over 650,000, and these women are the ones who make it all happen. So let's learn a little bit about what you guys do now, since we know about how you got there.
So I'm the marketing specialist, so I am responsible for selling all the advertising, managing the artwork. Pretty much any advertisement that comes into the publication is my sole responsibility. So.
And I'm the editor of Oklahoma Living, and on that role, I work with our staff, Shannon and Haley, and our base of freelance writers who work for us. And we brainstorm our editorial calendar and the contents that we're going to present to our readership. And as a trade publication representing electric cooperatives, we do have to keep in mind that some of our content will focus on energy-related news and trends and information that will be helpful to consumers. But we also try to always make sure we have great human interest stories that focus on electric cooperative consumer members and also on businesses that are on electric cooperative lines.
Absolutely. So I'm the multimedia specialist, which by the title is a relatively new position. It didn't exist 6 years ago when I started, and just to emphasize the importance of internships, I was an intern at Oklahoma Living at the time. I was also working at a local news station, and I was working as a developer on a website and attending grad school. So all of those things in one were a perfect fit for the direction that Anna and our publisher, Sid, wanted to take the magazine in. So my job really is to support the magazine with both creative and technical work. So any goals that we have, we try to set measurable objectives. We try to add videography and ways to interact with our readers. We develop new websites. We engage on social media. And really, my efforts that I do with multimedia do not replace the print edition, but they do allow us to form more genuine connections with our readers as they evolve.
Right. And what would each of you individually say is your piece of advice for a younger student or a young adult who wants to be in the type of position that you're in today?
I think my advice would be to find a mentor, whether that be a college professor or maybe a boss in a job that you have throughout your college education, but find somebody who has a great work ethic, you know, who shares like in your principles and that can, you know, has kind of been there, done that. They can give you that advice. I know that to this day I call up my boss from junior college, Mandy, and I'm like, well, this is what I'm going through now, or how can I relate to this, or what can I do this better type thing. And it's been such an invaluable experience just to have somebody in your corner, you know that you trust, that can give you that professional advice as well as the personal advice too.
Absolutely.
My advice would be always be open for change. The media industry has changed so much. It changes so much every single year. On the 12 years that I have been in the industry, it's amazing to see how it has evolved. So many of the things that I learned back in 2005 don't apply today anymore. So my advice would be open for innovation, always be looking for ways to innovate. Don't get stuck, be open for new horizons, interact with a lot of people, find mentors as Shannon has expressed, but make sure that you embrace change. That would be my advice.
Before we go to Haley, do you have any advice for international students especially?
I will say that being an international student in this field is a very challenging journey. I'll be very open with you. There were many days that I walked on campus and the tears were just coming down my face. as I tried writing for a newspaper at Cameron University, and all my papers came back bleeding red ink, and I thought, I don't know if I'll ever be able to accomplish this, but it took a lot of perseverance. So for all the international students out there trying to make a home here in the United States and have a new beginning, I would say stay the course, don't get down, don't get discouraged. We are all learning, and at the end of the day, it takes a drive and really a perseverance and persistence, and there will be friends along the way who help you, so stay the course.
That's great advice.
Right, and learning is a perfect transition into any advice that I have. Mine would be invest in others and invest in yourself. And the best way I can think to explain that is from a favorite movie that my dad and I shared. And my dad passed away unexpectedly in December, so I really treasure this advice, and it's from It's a Wonderful Life. He said, "No man is a failure who has friends." So no matter where you go, if you have an internship, if you're working with another group, if you're mentoring a young student, really choose to invest in them, because that's the greatest joy you can get out of any career you have.
Absolutely.
Thank you, ladies.
Yeah, thank you all so much. Every
so
single
candid.
piece of that was just such great advice. Unfortunately, I think that's all the time we have for today. But thank you so much to the Oklahoma Living staff. You guys have been wonderful, and we're so grateful that you're here.
Yes, thank you, and for coming on and being with us. But yeah, you have me in tears, Haley. But yeah, that's all that we have today. Join us next time on OCU Now, and we'll see you guys next time. Thank you.